I think it's easy to confuse access for equity or equity for access, that if you have one, you must have the other. And certainly Southwest Tennessee Community College is an open enrollment institution. We accept all students regardless of performance on standardized tests, GPA in high school, any of those things. They're welcome into our community. So we have access, at least broadly we have access, but nevertheless we see huge equity disparities in student performance. So simply having access to higher education does not guarantee equitable outcomes in education. And I think once we have an answer to that, we'll be publishing widely. Equity seems to be an issue that is always a challenge in higher ed, and I think probably more generally as well. But at Southwest, I'd say our single largest equity issue is fail rates. We see a disproportionate number of black and brown students failing classes compared to white students. Now, Southwest is a major urban community college. Our population is upwards of 80% African American students. And yet, in foundational courses, gatekeeper courses, introduction to math, composition courses, we see disproportionate fail rates. So there's the data that says we have a real equity issue that needs to be addressed. But perhaps the bigger problem is beginning conversations with faculty and staff and administration around equity, how to address it, how to think about it, how to understand how equity and equality and diversity are all important but are not the same. And just to get those conversations moving has proven to be quite difficult. And then I think to move beyond the opening of the conversation to something as concrete as how can we address these gaps in student performance, it feels to me at least that that's a question that we're not ready to broach. We're not ready to broach the question. We recognize the problem, but we have to really address what equity is at our campus and at our institution before we can really meaningfully address the performance differences that we see in our students.